Hey everyone, it's Penguin Manga, and this is February 2017, Sustain the Industry. And I'm going to get started because I got quite a lot of manga I want to share with you guys. I'm going to start with my used manga that I grabbed. First, I got the first volume of Your Lie in April. I've seen the anime and I really enjoyed the anime, and the manga was just something I wanted to pick up because of the Aniplex Blu-rays are so high in price. I just can't afford those, so I can afford to pick up a manga volume every now and then, and I wanted to see what this would be like in manga form. You can see the art's pretty. Next up I have Volume 4 of Astro Boy, and I left the price tag on there so you guys can see, but I got this for $2. It was such a good deal that I just decided to snag it because I love Osamu Tezuka, and I heard that the omnibuses are not the best quality, so I just wanted to grab this. Really enjoy Tezuka. Astro Boy isn't my favorite, but it's still good, and I wanted to grab it. Next up, I kinda messed up on this one, and I'll explain why in a second. But I got Yotsuba Volumes 4 and Volume 5. And Yotsuba is a great series. I'm really liking Yotsuba. It's excellent. It's so good. But where I messed up is right here. Check this out. See that? That is a different spine than the ones I already have. This is the old edition, and this is the new publishing by Yen Press. So I got these for cheap and I didn't even bother to look, so I just snagged these, and at least it still has the great content that is Yotsuba. But I don't know, it's so hard to put these on my shelf knowing that I'm gonna have 4 and 5 right in the middle of different volume spines. Speaking of mistakes, this one's not so much a mistake, but it is related to the other one. I got Disappearance Diary by Hideo Azuma. And the reason why this was a mistake for me is because of this last name right here, Azuma. I thought it was the same Azuma as Azumanga Daioh. But then I started looking at the first name and I was like, oh no, this is not the same Azuma. I was starting to look into what this guy is, and in the little side thing it says that he is like the father of lolly manga. And I was thinking, oh no, this is not good. But I started looking more into this, and this Disappearance Diary, I know it's going to be a good story because it's not about lolly stuff. It's an autobiography about his life, and he had a pretty rough life. He's just going to, in this story, talk about the bad things like his alcoholism and I believe suicide, his thoughts of suicide, in a comedic fashion. I'm wondering how are you going to do that? So I'm looking forward to seeing this, even though it's not the life of the creator of Yotsuba and Azumanga Daioh, and he makes lolly manga, but I'm interested. Everybody's life has a story, and I'm interested to hear about his. The next manga I have is one that's really close to my heart, and I've already finished reading this one. I actually read it on Crunchyroll Manga. So I read it online, but legally. So if anybody's interested in reading manga on their phone, you can look up Crunchyroll Manga. But the manga I'm talking about is A Silent Voice. I've wanted to collect this one for a while, but I already read it, so I didn't feel the need to grab it. But I've just wanted to have it for a while because this is so special to me, guys, because one thing that is important to know about me is I'm studying in college to become a special educator I love people with disabilities and I love to work with them and I care about them so much. And in A Silent Voice, it is about a little girl who grows up and she's actually deaf. And this is close to my heart because of that reason, but also I have friends who are deaf and I know sign language. And this is just very special to me. And you get to experience what it's like. This is such a good portrayal of bullying, and I want to be a teacher and be involved in the classroom. So this hits close to home for so many levels. And I highly recommend it. It's just, I've never seen a manga portray bullying and being deaf in such a strong and accurate way. And I was able to get volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, and last I got volume 5, and so I have 5 out of 7. I don't know when I'm picking up the last 2, but I hope to get it pretty soon, but I'm not going to do too much. But you can see there's color pages in there and they're really pretty, but I don't want you guys to see any spoilers because you guys should pick this up too. Give it a read or read it for free online on Crunchyroll Manga. You have to have a subscription, but I don't know, maybe you can see how much you can read of it. But I just want everybody to give this manga a chance, even if you aren't into that genre per se. Next I picked up, this has become a usual for me, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders Volume 2 of the Omnibus, and this has Joseph Joestar, my favorite Joestar. On the back we see Hermit Purple. I love JoJo's. I don't need to say anything else about JoJo's, but so good. Such a bizarre adventure they're on and such a crazy great story. I love these hardcovers, they're so good, and I pre-ordered the next one. I'm waiting for the next one to come. Next pickup was one that I pre-ordered a while back and I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and it finally came in, and that's The Girl from the Other Side, and it is by Nagabe. I don't know if that's a pen name or what it is, but this story, I got it that day. I read it in one sitting. It's not super long. You can see the spine is really cool. It's a small manga, but the art in it is so awesome. I love the contrast of light and dark in it, and it reads like what it feels to me is like a Grimm fairy tale. If you ever read a Grimm fairy tale or different fables, it feels like that. And it just really hits the spot if you're craving some type of fairy tale that's a little darker, a little more grim. It's really good, and the art just backs it up so much. Next, I'm going to go through some more of my Tezuka stuff I got. I showed you guys Astro Boy, but I was also able to pick up Captain Ken, volumes 1 and 2. This is all there is, just 2 volumes. And it's about the genre is kind of like space western. This is Osamu Tezuka's take on a space western. Let me see if I can show you guys some stuff. We see like some cacti, and you know anything by Osamu Tezuka is going to be somewhat interesting. Not everything he does is perfect, and there are definitely a lot of works that aren't the best, but he has earned his place as the father of manga, and I can't wait to read these 2. It's not too long. Like I said, just 2. So maybe I can read it sometime soon. Next, for some more Tezuka stuff, this is my favorite Tezuka work, and I was waiting and putting off getting this because at our library, my university library, they have the whole collection, which is amazing because it's so out of print that there's no way I would ever be able to own this whole collection. But that's Blackjack. I got volumes 1, volume 2, and volume 3. And Blackjack's so good. It's a medical drama. If you like any type of medical drama you've seen before, then I highly recommend this one. It's episodic. It's the only volume I think you need to have, I would say, is volume 1, because it introduces the characters that you're going to see throughout all of the other volumes. There's some crazy stuff that happens in all of these stories, and I highly recommend you guys check this out. It is my favorite by Tezuka. Oh, and by the way, check out these spines. That is amazing. The art on the spine is so awesome. I love those. It looks really good on your shelf too. And these are going out of print. So I recommend you guys picking them up if you're interested. Next one is one of the newer reprint manga by Dark Horse. That's Blade of the Immortal. Now, I started reading this and it sucked me in. It's so good. I really like the samurai. I haven't gotten into samurai manga too much, but after reading this, I'm very interested in getting more, and I want to get Vagabond and collect all of that. So it's kind of a blooming interest for me. But the art in it is very good. The story is super interesting. It kind of feels like samurai, but it has a punk-esque feel. Let me see if I can find some character design in it. There's some art for you. You can see right here, everything's so stylized. And I don't know if he uses pencil, but sometimes the shading he does is very light, and it looks like he uses a pencil style, which I've never seen anything like that. And it's very good. Highly recommend this. It's been out for a long time, but this reprint's brand new. And it's pretty good. I like the quality. Recommend you guys pick it up too. Give it a shot. Now, last but not least, I've saved the best for you guys for my last two I got, and I know you're going to be looking forward to it because I've heard this manga raved about for so long, and I decided to grab it finally. Vinland Saga. This is the first book. I got it, and I love history. I love historical manga. I like Vikings. They're interesting, and for some reason I never decided to pick it up. But whenever I heard it was going out of print, and I was waiting, and then they're catching up to the final volumes, up to date, I should say. And I was like, you know what? This is something I would really like. I like seinen manga. I like Vikings. I'm gonna get this. So I got the first volume, and I haven't started it yet, and I'm so busy with school. I really want to, but I think I'm going to wait till I get some more, but I know I'm going to like it. And next, I got book 2 for Valentine's Day from my wife. So now I have the first 2 books of Vinland Saga, and I can't wait to read it. I looked through, I know the art is so good. The spines, just that font just gets me psyched to read it. Everything about it, I'm just super excited to read it. It's one I've heard people talk about so much. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about it, which is just, that's a really good sign. If you never heard a bad thing about a manga, it most likely it's gonna be very good. So I have high hopes for Vinland Saga, and I know it's not gonna disappoint me. So that's it for my February pickups. I encourage you guys to also sustain the industry by picking up just 1-2 volumes a month. It doesn't have to be as much as I did. I kind of go on spending sprees sometimes, and anyway, I just want you guys to have a good one, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and see you guys later. Bye-bye.